Oh, what's this? Huh. He's over here. We need to get his camera. What do you want? Hey, Paul. Let me line you right there. Hey, Paul, we don't look the same.
What's in there?
Wrong, man. Pictures, everything. We got lighting and everything. Wrong.
My glass ain't on there.
No, let me do this for you.
But on what Chicago you are.
On live.
Yep. Now, do you trust? I have not drunk out of this.
Just give me the bottom cup.
That's what I'm about to give you.
Yeah, just pull the bottom cup.
We're hot right now, y'all. We're hot right now.
Okay.
What's up? Oh, we can go back. All right, where my tape at? How much time we got, Josh? She's up. 5 o'clock. Let's get it. 3, 2, 1.
I don't drink it.
Whatever.
No, I'm saying you got the thing.
Welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project. Today we're talking Memphis and Shelby County Schools. The Antioch shooting in Nashville. Trump, Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Soulja Boy, Sexy Red, and we got the Memphis Mayor Paul Young in the building. So don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson, and you're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's give it up for that. Come on,
you got to change that soon. You got to change it soon.
Yeah, we got an opportunity to do a comparison because the last time that Memphis Mayor Paul Young was here, we had just started. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all just started?
We had just started.
I thought y'all had been going.
Yeah, we had just started, but 6 million plus views later.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on now.
What's going on?
Hey,
Okay, the
this is
metrics.
what we
Okay,
do.
metrics.
Come on now. That's right. Give it up for my wonderful, wonderful co-host Angelica Jelly Woods in the building. Let's
Hey,
go,
y'all.
baby.
Mr. Mayor, you can clap a little harder than that. Let's try
Oh,
it again.
I tried it.
There we go. There we go. Hey,
Put it on the
y'all.
mic.
There you go. Put it on the
Man,
mic.
she
Put it on the
just
mic.
Bullies
Listen.
our guests. She just bullies our guests, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. Man, look. About Angelica, always wonderful to have you in the building. Glad your voice sounds a little
Terrible.
scratchy today. You know,
I'm not contagious. I don't have the EBGBs. I don't test it. I'm telling you.
DJ Kojak, if our voice sounded like that, DJ Kojak, what she be throwing
Come on
crosses
now.
up at us.
Come on now.
Right.
I could have been
Acting like we
schoolboy yelling
poisonous.
in the background. Y'all
Acting
ask
like
me.
we
I could be one of the
poisonous.
people yelling. You almost
She's
spit out.
starting shit
I'm
already.
sorry. I could have been yelling.
Right. You probably were back there yelling.
At my screen,
Yeah.
but that's about it. Not in
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, that's my DJ Kojak in the building. DJ Kojak.
Yeah.
Hey man, scratch it up for the mayor 4 times. DJ Kojak, 4 times for the mayor. Oh, you hit him hard on that last
Let that one go.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this, Mayor. Did you hear that scratch?
I hear the bam. I guess that's his version of a scratch. So.
Oh God!
Good job,
You
Mr. Mayor.
You
Good
tell
job,
he
Mr.
been
Mayor.
elected for
Well,
years. Right.
That's that
Right.
political answer.
Right.
I'm just
Yeah.
literal.
Right. Y'all give it up for our mayor, Memphis Mayor Paul Young in the building. Yeah.
Yes.
Man.
Glad to be here with y'all.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're glad to have you, man. Hey, man. Last time, man.
When did I come last? Was it the beginning of last
March.
year? March-ish,
March.
yeah.
It was during basketball because you had to go to a basketball
Right,
game.
right.
Your son was with you.
Oh, yeah, he was. That's right.
Right.
He's like,
yeah,
come on,
man.
Dad, it's time
Paxton's
to go.
sitting there ready to go.
Man, Paxton was ready to get on down, man.
He's ready to go.
Yeah, man. So look, we're gonna jump right into this. As a matter of fact, before we jump into today, Josh, I'm gonna go out a little bit out of order. Go to that first video of the Memphis mayor with the blue background.
Okay, we really
Let us all look at what we've done. Don't accept the broad platitudes. Dig in and see who's actually been doing the work. Everyone on this stage, other than me, has been elected for office before. And look at where we are as a community. I want Memphis to be a city where my two kids, my 12-year-old Zoe, my 8-year-old Paxton, when they leave and go to college, I want them to come back to Memphis. I want this to be a city that they want to raise their families in. That's why I'm in.
Yeah. Whoa. Hey,
that was a hard line right there.
Who was that guy? Who was that
was
young
hungry.
eager guy that he was, man?
That was the debate PY.
That was, man.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
Yeah, it was. It was, man. Hey, man. So just reflecting back on that, man. How does it feel? And I really shouldn't be getting into this part of the interview until because it's really
Sorry,
set up
man.
for the
We're just
third
having
segment.
a conversation.
Yeah,
bro.
man. But how does it feel now, man?
It feels great, man.
Yeah.
It's everything I thought it would be. I mean, you get a lot of criticism constantly tagged on social media. And I see some of it. I see a lot less of it than I used to. Not just because people do it less, but because I care less. And not that I don't care about people's opinion, but I know that I have to do what's in my heart in this job because on every issue, there's somebody that agrees and somebody that disagrees. And so what I try to do is listen to everybody's perspective, take it all in, and do what I believe in my heart is the right thing. And that's the way I'm
think
keep
you're just
moving.
used to it.
Well,
Sometimes you get desensitized to it.
No, I mean, it's not
Parkinson
just
is.
being used to it. It's like you do what you believe and it gives you peace at night.
Right,
If I was doing it just because somebody told me to do it, then I'm going to feel differently about it. I'm going to be troubled in my sleep. But when I know I believe it deep in my heart, I sleep good.
Right, man. That's what I was telling somebody else. How you sleep at night, curled up. Right.
Desensitized.
Hey, but look. Have you? So this is where I am. I don't call it desensitized. I call it not getting emotional.
Right.
And then, have you gotten to that point where?
Because in many instances, what I feel like is people aren't necessarily talking to me; they're talking to the position.
Yeah,
they're talking to their
true.
frustrations with government, and it's not about me, Paul. It's just about what I represent, and so I just put it in that perspective. Whether I'm right or wrong, that's how I view it.
Yeah. Speaking of emotional, of course, we look, it's been an emotional
it's been a tough week.
Couple of days. Well, actually a week or two, couple of weeks, with everything that's going on with the Memphis and Shelby County School Board and the recent terminating of the contract of Dr. Marie Fagans. And I think we got video. Josh, run that video.
Board Chair Coleman.
Yes.
Commissioner McKissick.
No.
Commissioner Garcia.
No.
Commissioner Porter.
No.
Commissioner Murphy.
Yes.
Commissioner Love.
Yes.
Commissioner McKinney.
Yes.
Commissioner Otey.
Pass.
Commissioner Williams. Commissioner Williams.
That's it. Turn your mic on.
Commissioner Otey.
Yes. No, I'm sorry.
That motion passes. This meeting is a
All right. Man, so this was an incredibly emotional, actually, I would say, month, actually, because remember when it started, right? It
before
started
the holidays.
Yeah, before the holidays.
Yep.
They kicked the can down the road, and and then still came to the result that they were going,
right?
Of terminating the contract of former superintendent Dr. Marie Fagan. So what are your thoughts on it? I thought I had some video where you had said somebody from the news asked you, but what are your thoughts on it though?
Well, for me, I mean, I wasn't in favor of the vote taking place, not so much because I want to get into their personnel issues. I know they have things that they want to work out, but I think it's important for us to take time and analyze the situation. And I just think it happened quickly, and I think we needed a broader sample size. But the decision is done, it's made, and we're from a city perspective, we have to work with the school system. I need them to be successful. I need whoever the superintendent is, whoever the school board is, I got to work with them. And so I'm not throwing anybody under the bus.
Right.
I had calls and I talked to many of them behind the scenes. They know my perspective. They made the choice, and whoever's in the seat, I'm going to work with. I know my man Rod. He's a good dude, sharp dude. I've reached out to him, had a brief conversation, and we're going to keep working.
Yeah. It's interesting because I'm sure you probably got some of the same calls I got. Why ain't you saying more? Why aren't you telling them what to do? And I explain to people, I'm a state legislator. I mean, I could have interjected myself into it, right? But I respect the bodies, right?
Exactly.
Just like I respect the office of the mayor, right? I respect city council, county commission, office of the county mayor, right? And what I thought it was, I did not like what the county commission did in putting forth a resolution, expressing what they wanted the school board to do, right? I believe in democracy. I believe that we push that button for the person that we want to represent us, and if they don't represent us, then we push the button for somebody else, right? And I know that also I'm up there. I don't want to be hypocritical, right? Because I'm up there at the state,
right,
fighting these Republicans off, my colleagues who try to bear down on the city and on the county. And when the mayors or the city council expresses their will to do something, they'll come in and try to they will come in and step on it and stomp it and then twist their foot in it to make sure that it doesn't see the light of day. And I did not want to be just like them to my own locally elected body.
Well, my position wasn't even that deep. I mean, I had conversations with folks, and if I thought my voice would have made a difference, I would speak on it. But it wasn't going to make a difference. Like the things that they had to iron out were bigger than the opinions of other elected officials. And what I'm trying to do as mayor is try and move Memphis in a place where we are not so focused on the drama, the drama of governance and all of the things that are like emotional pools. I want us to be having firm, sensible conversations about the things that we can do to advance our city. And so what I saw from the conversations I had was that it was likely moving forward. I know that the people knew my perspective on it. I didn't think me speaking out was going to do anything more than add to the noise of the drama that already existed. And so at this point, we keep moving.
So just to be clear, for people who don't understand government and hierarchy and all that, there was nothing you can do to interject to stop the board decision as the city mayor. Nothing.
Legally, there's definitely nothing I can do.
Okay, but some people don't understand.
But persuasion-wise, there are those that believe that if the mayor says something, that people are going to automatically do it. That's not a fact. I mean, people do what they want, and obviously we have some influence as mayor. But when I saw that heels were pretty much dug in, I thought that it was best that I made broad statements. I said things like, let's turn down the drama and double down on opportunities. I'm speaking to some of the things. And it's not just the school board that's, keeping the drama high. It's all of us in different ways. And so what I'm trying to do is get 2 solid years of Memphis just clicking on all gears, from our state legislators that are up there in Nashville, Republicans and Democrats, to the county commission, to the county mayor, to the city council, to the mayor, to the school board, to the superintendent. But we're just knocking it out the park. I want Memphis to be the example, a shining example of success.
Right.
The largest majority Black city that's not just keeping up drama and conflict, but that's
Right.
moving the needle on poverty, moving the needle on education. And a lot of the arguments that we have and things that get us emotionally invested aren't the ones that are going to move the needle.
Absolutely.
I wish everybody was passionate about voting, passionate about other issues, because there's a lot of other things that's going on that we can be passionate about. And even online, dealing with what you both have to deal with. I tell Parkinson, he just wake up starting stuff, but he can deal. I can't deal with scrutiny like that. He do. I'd be like, you just gonna wake up. I was supposed to do something. I was reading comments like,
man, yeah. But you know what though?
I don't like scrutiny. People are mean. Like this is too mean for me. I'm sorry, y'all.
They
to
do,
the
but what I,
wigs, to the chain.
Oh yeah, they get personal too. But what I've learned is this though, is engagement with them is good. Engagement, no, seriously.
For algorithm?
No, not for algorithms, not for algorithm, but for education.
Yeah.
You know, people want one of the things that they miss, that what is our unspoken non-statutory job is to educate the public, right? Is to inform them. Now,
some people don't want to know the truth.
Literally about to say that. Now, you got those,
the
but what I've learned is the majority of people, when you educate them, and sometimes it takes you getting down in the weeds a little bit and breaking it down granular so that they can digest it, right? And when they get that education, you see that light go off, like, oh, now I see. Because a lot of times, think about it, and I know you know this. A lot of times, all they are getting is the sound bite.
Yeah. Well, people don't even click on the article. They just read the headline,
and that's it.
Don't talk about he good at headline. That called clickbait. What they call clickbait, and they just run with it.
Yeah, and I was, I did a live yesterday. I think it's about 7,000 views now, close to it. Okay. And I talked about what I said. Everybody's out here shouting the state's gonna come in and take over. The state's gonna take over. You're gonna make the state take over. And I said, y'all don't even know what a state takeover is, right? A state takeover comes in so many forms, right? And they've been trying to take over since 2011, the Achievement School District. That's a state takeover. Their goal was to change every school in Memphis to a charter, 5% at a time, right? That's a state takeover. And so when I explained it to them that was one, vouchers is possibly one, stacking the school board is another one, possibly. There's many, and so and it's not necessarily about education as much as it is about that $1.something billion budget that Shelby County Schools
not
billion with a B.
Okay,
yeah, but I don't know how much time we got in the segment. Who's keeping time?
Over the segment.
No, we're not.
I'm pretty sure.
Thank y'all, Josh and Angelica and Nicole. Now, but look, let me just touch on this real quick because I think it's important that we touch on this. And our, I don't want to say our thoughts and prayers, but our hearts are with, those families that went through the tragedy the day before yesterday at Antioch High School in Nashville. I think we got some video. We got video, Josh. Okay, run that video real quick, and we're just gonna briefly touch on that. Man, look,
I hadn't seen that video.
Yeah, it's I was I honestly get speechless when I talk about this because I just think to myself, there is absolutely no way, no reason that Paxton and your daughter that they have to practice drills in the event of a school shooting. I mean, what does that say, for the time that we're in, and this was a young African American 17-year-old male,
17,
had a whole manifesto. It said he was trying to be a copycat from some other shooter, and they said he had been filling his head with rhetoric from Candace Owens and from some of the Trump group, and he said it because I saw the video. He said he hated, basically, and I'm paraphrasing that, he hated the fact that he was black, and he wanted to go in there and he wanted to harm people that were here in the country that were not necessarily from the country, and you know the young lady, her name is her name. What's her name?
I'm gonna try.
Give me that. Did we put it in? We put it in the notes because I want to make sure I get it right. I don't want to mess her name up.
Escalante.
Yeah.
I told you not to have me to be the person that try to do it.
Right.
16 years old. Was she 16
Right.
or 17?
She was 16 years old. Yeah, here it is. Jocelyn. Jocelyn Correa Escalante. You know, and she unfortunately she didn't make it. And then there was another 17-year-old Egyptian, I think I'm not sure if it's male or female. That person was grazed. You know, and Jocelyn is actually her parents immigrated from Guatemala, and now they are having to bury their daughter.
Oh, man, you know? that's heartbreaking, man, and it's a shame that in this country we've seen it. I mean, when I was in high school, I graduated in '97. I remember Columbine was like '99, and since '99, every few years we have seen something like this, and it's progressively gotten worse and worse,
and more frequent.
And you know, I think until I think nationally we need to do something about guns in our country. We also need to do something to help our young people with mental health, because us old folks, we don't realize the pressures that our young people are under. Like social media adds a whole nother element of pressure. Like they live in a whole like social media universe where the comments and things that they're taking in have an impact on their psyche and self-esteem and motivation. And then they're on these games where you're like engaged in the game and you running around shooting and catching people as if it's
being desensitized
thing.
to
Like you're desensitized to it. And so we need a way to offset all of the triggers and the stimulation that our young people are getting.
Yeah, we need to let them back outside.
Yeah, they need to go outside and play, go run.
Yeah, they said a big thing, he was being a copycat, just paying attention simply what your kids are paying attention to, because he simply could have been copycatting. I won't say you, Parkinson. The mayor, you could have been a copycat to him. You know what I mean? So simple steps. That's big, broader picture.
Be copycatting me though.
No, gotcha. I was gonna say Kojak, but never mind. You the only option right now. Sorry, listen.
I'll take it.
But even the simple steps, because we always want to look so broad. But if everybody do their little bit of part, do your little part in your household if you can. He's copycatting something that somebody could be walking past, seeing that he's paying attention and feeding him every single day. So,
but you know, and the killer part is, and the bad part is rather, you know, this kid made great grades in school. He was a good student. I mean, you know, quiet, you know, but it's unfortunate that we're here, and that until some of these policies change, we're going to continue to be here, and it's going to be more and more frequent. So look, y'all don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Speaking of mental health, we're going to talk about Trump. He's back, right? And Snoop Dogg and Nelly and Sexy Red and Angelica and a whole lot of other stuff. So,
don't put me in sentences with Sexy Red.
We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's give it up for that. Yeah.
Definitely doing
6 million plus, man. 6 million plus. 6 million plus views in a year. Thank God for it. Y'all get up for my lovely co-host who's throwing shade left and right. Angelica Jelly Shades Woods in the building.
I'm supposed to do that better in 2025.
Yeah, it seems like she's gotten worse, don't it, DJ Kojak? I'm telling you, man.
I ain't saying nothing to you all night, Kojak. I've been nice.
Yeah.
All night.
That's my DJ Kojak in the building. DJ Kojak. Hey, hit the horns for the mayor, DJ Kojak. You heard that, didn't you, man?
Yeah, I heard a horn.
Okay.
That sounded like a horn.
Not his horn.
Come on over to this side.
Come
on over to this
give
side.
Him a slow Marshall clap, Rico.
He almost there. Like a horn.
No, he did it right. You told the truth, Mr.
We got
Mayor.
one more segment that we can try to make sure he hear it.
We're getting there.
Because look, when the show drops, they're in there. I don't know why you're not hearing it.
He is a mayor of truth. Okay.
You gonna put him in?
I don't know what you're talking about. I can neither confirm nor deny. I heard. Right.
You almost maybe say something shady. Now you said it.
Right. Man, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We truly appreciate you being here, man.
Glad to be here.
Man, we're proud of you too.
Appreciate
I always
it,
want to tell you that publicly, and I want the people to know I am proud of this young brother.
And let me say this, man. At the prayer breakfast, come on, man. Bro, you shut it down.
Oh yeah, you talking about Lamorne the other day?
Well, he preached up there.
That's my alma
he
he preached.
I
know. I'm being funny.
Come on now.
Did he preach?
Did he hoop? Did he hoop and holler? Was he hooping?
No, he
No, I ain't gonna
Oh
do
man, I
that.
want to hear about.
I don't want to. I don't want
Can you get a hoop in
to.
for me?
Don't ever do that.
He definitely had to drop the mic moment.
He had to drop the mic.
He like, wow.
Okay.
I said, okay.
No, thank you,
Okay.
man. That was. We had some words, but sometimes I kind of go off the feeling in the room.
Let the spirit move.
Felt like I was in church.
Yeah, let the spirit move. Man, that's good, man. It's good to have a Christian mayor. It's good to have a mayor that has a relationship with God. Thank God for that, man.
Key rates a relationship. That's important.
Yeah. Speaking of relationships with God, Trump, Donald Trump.
No, that was not a good segue.
Yeah,
Okay.
Angelica, you're president.
Yeah.
So Donald Trump has been inaugurated. Interestingly enough, he was inaugurated on MLK Day.
We should do the
We're
next
going to
day.
come back to that. We're going to come back to that. So y'all just tuck that in your little hat right there for a second. But Trump, he pardoned 1,500 January 6th convicts. And I think we got video on some of the executive orders. Josh, run that video.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Did President Biden leave you a letter?
He may have. Wait. Don't they leave it in the desk? I don't know. Oh.
This is an executive order taking a large number of executive actions to secure our southern border.
Okay. Sounds reasonable. I'm fine with legal immigration. I like it. We need people. We want to have it. We need it because we're going to have a lot of companies coming in to avoid tariffs. You know, if you don't want tariffs, all you have to do is build your plant in the U.S. So we're going to have a lot of workers coming in. But we have to have legal immigration.
This next order relates to the definition of birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment of the United States.
Yeah, that's a good one. Birthright. That's a big one.
What about that one in the court? That one is likely to be passed.
Could be. We think we have good grounds, but you could be right. I mean, you'll find out. We're the only country in the world that does this with birthright, as you know. And it's just absolutely ridiculous, but, you know, we'll see. We think we have very good grounds.
Sir,
people have wanted to do this for decades.
All right. Yeah, man. And so interesting choice of words by the president. President Trump said he pardoned 1,500 hostages.
I heard that.
It's almost like prisoners of war, right?
It is in his army.
Yeah, hostages and of the United States government courts and government, right? And these were people that were convicted. And you know, there were people that got killed and during the January 6th.
It was like 5
coup attempt, right?
5?
And it's interesting, you know, because there was some commentary that said that, you know, first of all, when he pardoned these folks didn't just, you know, come out of jail quietly. They came out of jail talking shit. They came out of jail.
You wouldn't be talking cash money. I want to say that word.
You know, and if you think about it, so you know, just a little bit in the political weeds. You know, if you think about it, you know, the Republican Party is supposed to be the party for, you know, back in the blue, right? But these individuals were assaulting, you know, law enforcement officers, you know, during that siege of the Capitol.
And got pardoned by the president on day one. You'll be talking cash money too. I feel like I'm invincible. Yeah, and I'll go do something today. I mean, eat that. I mean, you will be talking.
Free, and you can't. Nobody can do anything else about it.
Thank you, the president. The president pardon you. Yes, you'll be talking trash. Come on.
Yeah, and then of course, one of his executive orders, he wrote to end, I think, the 14th Amendment, where birthright citizenship, right? So if you're born in this country, on this land, on this soil, then you are an American citizen.
He did a lot of stuff.
But a federal judge blocked that executive order and said you can't just change the Constitution, just with a stroke of a pen like that. And so, but they said they're going to appeal it, which they do to their friends at the Supreme Court. So we'll see how that goes. Another thing, and this will have an effect on cities like Memphis. Him pulling out of the Paris Climate Treaty, right? And and that's something, an agreement that multiple countries were in to try to clean up our climate, and so he did pull us out of that, and sent letters to these other countries telling them we're out, basically we're out, right? And now there's so let me say this, and Mayor Young, feel free to chime in. We got a new president, right? And he's a different president, and he's coming in, man. Listen. He is coming in swinging hard, coming in and
doing what he told us he would do.
Exactly.
On day 2, though.
On day 1.
God,
day one.
Well, DEI, it's different than other, new presidents because he's been president before. So,
right.
The learning curve that others might have,
that's true.
He doesn't have it. They know exactly what they want to do and how to do it. And, for me, it's just the testament to local control and, us owning our own destiny and not relying on the federal government because they, we see that could change with whoever's in that seat. And so the more we can do locally to have programs to support the environment, programs to support housing, like the things that are vital needs day to day, like local government is where it's at.
And that's going to be important. And it would be wonderful to have a state government that is supportive of local government also. But unfortunately, I think our state government is going to be more supportive of what Trump does and says than they are and not just local government here in Memphis, but local government, period. Right. And so, but we'll see how that goes.
I have a question though. I have a question. This might be a crazy political question or whatever. So with the DEI workers, federal, could that ever trickle into our atmosphere? Federal level. Can that? I mean, I don't know.
Well, there are federal employees here.
I know. I'm saying, can that shrink? Like, can we? Because some people are laid off. Like they're laid off, right? Correct.
Well, you need to explain what we're talking about. So, because we just kind of jumped in the middle of.
Well, some of the Trump. Well, that's one of the Trump changes. He got rid of DEI in the federal realm. I'm not using the right politics.
You are federal employees. So he ended DEI programs for hiring in regards to federal programs.
You're supposed to hire based on merits. Right.
I mean, we have a lot of federal employees that live in this region. I mean, we have the naval base, just the IRS. So we have a lot of federal employees, and I do think that it could have an impact on some of our MWBE programs and things of that nature later on.
Right.
But we stay focused, and we know that we want to have equitable growth in Memphis, and when you are the largest majority Black city in the nation, you can't be equitable without including Black folks. So I think that us and our support for the people of our community will continue to remain.
But a lot of changes coming from, and here's the thing too. I always and this is the position. This is the position I've taken years ago. Honestly, regardless of what changes happen. You roll with these punches, right? I will not get emotional about it. I've done my emotional time in the state legislature. I will not get emotional about it. We're going to find those opportunities. I don't care what administration is in place. And that's
how I feel.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
That's how I feel. That's why I don't get too worked up about a lot of the stuff that's happening. We just stay for, and then a lot of it is theater. Right? A lot of it is political theater,
posturing.
We just got to stay focused on what we're trying to achieve locally because we got enough work to do right here that can really have an impact on people's lives.
I think we need to end the lie. A lot of people thought Trump, and this is based on some of the rappers, which I know we're going to segue there.
That's a perfect segue, actually.
Telling people if you sign the child support papers, you could defile your baby on the taxes. That is a lie.
Yeah, that's a bunch of
Trump
bullshit.
He's never said that. So I'm sorry, baby daddies. I'm sorry, it's the camera. Baby daddy. Waka Flocka said it. And he doesn't even have any children, biological children. But he said if you any father who signed the birth certificate can automatically file taxes, and the Black community has went wild over that one thing that's not true, y'all. It's not true, okay?
Right.
It's not true.
Yeah. Speaking of lying rappers,
Oh,
so Snoop Dogg went in on people back in 2017. I mean, he was calling them all kind of coons and this, that, and other. Said if they perform for Trump's inauguration, they are coons. They this, that, and other. Josh, we got video, don't we?
You got the video?
We got the video.
We always got some receipts.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck out one of you for doing it. Which one gonna do it first? I'll be the one that performs for himself.
Serious? Take a second. Matter of fact, everybody, let me hear you sing it, baby. It's in the crib. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Okay, Josh, we get it. Right? Yeah. Man, these rappers are killing me more and more. You looked at the stuff that Ice Cube was saying back, a few years ago. Trying to be political, and you look at this thing with Snoop. And he was going in hard about people performing for Trump, and next thing you know, he's performing for Trump, and then he tried to make the excuse saying, "Oh, it was the crypto ball." Oh, that's Trump shit. Just say it for what it is. But I think who was it? Nelly made so
Nelly gave a Kojak response. I'm sorry, Kojak, not to be shady. When he was talking, it was. He danced around that thing like
kind of Kojakish.
I was like, what?
Right,
and then he finally brought it home. But he
Right.
was trying to make the point like the president's already here. The decision's been made.
I didn't know I was.
He read his thing. Yeah, he did a Kojak dance.
The argument was the first crypto ball.
Okay,
they wanted. They all performed.
You got Nelly. You got Nelly.
Yeah, they performed it. So it was Snoop, Nelly, Rick Ross.
And Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy did the most ignorant.
So
He did
run
the
the
most
Nelly
ignorant.
video. Y'all give Nelly a chance.
Y'all,
to
it's
make his
Kojak
case.
all day long. Please go look at it, y'all. I promise. I'm not being shady.
I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because it's an honor. I respect the office. It don't matter who is in office. The same way that our men and women, our brothers and sisters who protect this country have to go to war and have to put their life on the line for whoever in office. So if they can put their life on the line for whoever in office, I can damn sure perform for.
Cut that right, Josh. Cut that right there. I gotta stop him right there, man. You can't compare.
You took that personal, didn't you? Because you're Marine.
This is my first time really hearing it. I heard it, but you cannot compare yourself to men and women who put their life on the line as a call of duty, right? You chose to get the bag and go over there and perform for President Trump's crypto ball. Don't do that. But let's hear from Soldier Boy. Was it Soldier Boy? Let's hear from Soldier Boy.
He your cousin.
He don't give two shits.
That's your cousin.
Right.
They pay me a bag. Obama ain't never put no money in my pockets, nigga. Kamala ain't never put no money in my pockets, nigga. Trump put money in my pockets, nigga. Are trying to say something about me performing at the crypto ball party. Did Kamala call my fucking phone? Did Obama call my motherfucking phone? Did any of you call my motherfucking phone? Oh God, fuck you, man. I do what the fuck I want.
All right, Josh. All right, Josh.
That's a whole nother generation right there.
Listen,
I hadn't heard any of it, but I knew his would be just
he don't care. He don't care. Y'all ain't put no money in my pocket, please.
Man, look, he don't get two shits.
Young gunners.
Right. But you know what though, man? But I guess say, hey, get the bag, man. If you're gonna get the bag, I ain't mad at you, man.
But I think people would have more respect if Snoop and Nelly said that. Hey, I just got them. But they said Nelly worth like over 50 million. They like he don't need the money. It ain't about the money.
Man,
but
look, they always still need money. They might be worth 50 million, but they might
the
have
lifestyle, exactly.
That they paying for, right?
Exactly, they lifestyle. Exactly, and people they taking care of, relying on them. So
all of this stuff happened around MLK Day, and so Angelica. You got to tell us about before we wrap this segment up. We got to tell us about what did Sexy Red do? Speaking of rappers,
they always got me doing other ratchet stuff. But anyway, Sexy Red, You know this? Have you heard this
I
story?
don't know this at all.
I love bringing you the news. We
Yeah,
just bring the news.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna give you all the ratchet news and
CNN,
email.
all the
Yes,
ratchet, right.
So she made like an AI generated photo of her and Martin Luther King Jr. I know, yeah, and they're looking each other in the eyes and holding hands. Yes, and so her daughter Bernice, that's her name, right, Parkinson?
Yeah, you said it right.
Got on there and just like you're really
Martin Luther King.
Yeah, Martin Luther King's daughter, Bernice.
Yeah,
said that you are this is so disrespectful, all this and that. I mean, what's your dad? If your dad literally is a hero, a hero. Yeah, good picture.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. They're looking in the eyes like she's seducing them. Okay.
Right.
And she is, doing the Carly Red thing she do, but
Man, young,
and she
man.
thought it was fun.
They
Yeah.
young.
But that's
what
how
did Bernice say though?
she said that was disrespectful to her father, and she need who
not here to defend himself.
That's not here. But you can't play with nobody daddy like that, anyways. Yeah. But I ain't gonna tell you what Kojak said.
Yeah,
Say for the camera, Kojak.
Like me. What did I say?
He forgot. Look and see what I mean.
I'm just saying,
look. What do you say, Kojak?
I mean, this is Sexy Red. She could have got way nastier than that.
That
To her. She probably felt like
she just playing.
She felt like this is respectful because she could have been twerking on it.
Oh Lord,
we talking about Sexy Red.
But this is a generation we live in. But she did quickly respond and say, "You know what? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. It's not intentional." So at least she did take ownership and apologize. So I mean, this generation don't do that. So at least to give her that. So she did say it was wrong, but
she didn't know she made a mistake.
MLK Day was really ratchet. I'm sorry, Martin Luther King. I mean, from Trump being inaugurated to Sexy Red disrespect, but he's still the king. So yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go.
Right.
So that was ratchet news.
Right.
Yeah, your news.
Yeah. Whole 30 minutes of ratchetness. Right. But look, when we come back, we're gonna get with the mayor and see what's happening here in the city of Memphis, what's new, what's going on, where we're going. Right. Also want to send a shout out to Randa Streeter, Lonnie Marie Smith, and Shayla. All of y'all watching on live. We appreciate y'all watching. Don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. Tap in. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. And welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. All right, baby. We're going to clap for that shit.
We're going to change that line.
This is called branding.
No.
We're
going to change the line.
Where your person go, man? Is she still here?
Oh, yeah, she left.
She left. Okay, she came, got her shots and got on down.
She did right. She did right.
Right. Yeah, but listen, we're going to jump right in this because I want to get the mayor this full 15 minutes. And let me reset this clock real quick.
No more ratchetness, Mayor. I'm sorry. No more ratchetness.
You can be ratchet if you want to be ratchet.
I'm talking about from our end. No more ratchetness.
Yeah, you can be ratchet if you want to. But listen, let's jump right in here. This is where I was gonna run that video of you from the campaign, but now you're in here. You've been in here for a year now,
I've been
right?
in for a year, man.
Look, you got a little seasoning to yourself now, don't you?
Yeah. I always knew I was ready.
You always come on. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, turn up then.
No, I really did. I really did because I've been around governance for so long.
Right.
So, I'm having a ball, man. I'm enjoying it. It's an honor.
That's good.
I wake up every day, man, just still like, wow, I can't believe I'm the mayor. Like, I really still.
Do you really feel that way?
I really do. Man.
That's amazing. Yeah, you doing what you called to do.
Have you stopped to think, man? And I think about this sometimes. There's not many people that have sat in that seat before.
Yeah, it's 65 people. I'm 65. I'm number 65.
That's it.
So only 64 people
In
before
the
me can say that they were ever the mayor of Memphis, Tennessee. And that's an honor and pleasure, man. And I think about like the journey to get here and how I'm a faithful man. God really aligned every step, and it made it just
all your life.
Path. Yeah,
all
your life.
All your life.
The path, man. It was just amazing. So I wake up feeling privileged to have this honor, man.
Have you? I don't know about you, but I know I do. I remind myself of who I am. When I'm walking in the halls of the Capitol, and the reason why I say that is because everybody is coming to you for something.
Right.
Everybody has an ask. Everybody's being nice. You know, the people that have asked, right? You know, and everybody's your friend, you know, that's coming to you and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And you know, they smile seriously. And when I'm up there at the Capitol, they smile, they pat me on the back, you know, they you know, shake my hand after they come out the bathroom without washing them.
Yeah,
like,
okay, you know,
right, you know, and but hey, touche, hey, this and other, you know, now and you know that if you're not in this position, they might not even pick up the phone for you, right? And so I remind myself of that every time, which keeps you humble, right? But also reminds you that this is not about you as much as it is for me about my vote, and for you about the decision making authority and power that you have with contracting and other things, right? Yeah.
So I just stay humble, man, and stay who I am. I try not to fixate too much on why people are talking. You know, the thing for me when I go out, like just a few minutes ago, we were at City Hall with Tay Keith.
Okay.
Tay Keith just
Tay Keith.
Don't
come on the show.
But he just donated some shoes to some young people that were won this poetry contest. But when I go in environments like that and I see the young people, like that's what gets me charged up. It's not like the folks that's my age and older that's coming to try and figure out how they can get a contract. It's those young people that are looking up to the mayor and like, yo, you look like me. Feel like me. Man. Oh, he got some J's on. Like one of them even said that.
In City Hall.
Yeah. And you know, that's just a cool feeling because when I ran, like that's what I wanted was to really, and I said it every debate, I represent the next generation of leadership for our community. And I really feel like it's coming through.
I think it's important for you to drill down in what you just said, though. I represent the next generation of leadership in our community. And so for those, you know, what he's saying, I want you to break that down. No, I don't want to break it down. You break that down for them because that's
the next
important.
generation. I mean, our elder generation has done an amazing job. They did their thing. Willie Harrington, AC, Strickland, all of them did good work at their time. But it's time for the generation that's under them to really step up and rise to these leadership roles where our grandparents and our mothers and fathers can look at us and say, oh, them young folk got it. Like they understand what it takes to actually do the job. Who can go in any room, whether you put me in the room with, you know, CEOs from major companies or on the porch in South Memphis. I'm going to be able to be who I am and represent this community at a high level. And, you know, I always felt that I had it in me, and I just, you know, praise God that I got the honor to do it.
Man, that's awesome and amazing. Awesome. Let's talk about, you know, because people want to know this, the consent decree, you know, with the feds. And before you jump in, I think we got some video. Josh, run that video.
Let me be clear that I believe that even one incident of mistreatment by the police is one too many. Some of the types of incidents that are described are simply not acceptable, and our hearts go out to every person who has been impacted. Policing in Memphis must always be ever evolving, constantly improving, and I'm confident that our team is ready to further the work of creating ongoing change. We believe that adjustments we've already begun making must continue and that they must expand. After carefully considering the information that we received from DOJ, we didn't believe that entering into any agreement in principle or consent decree right now before even thoroughly.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So, you know, you decided against entering into a consent decree, and you know,
what does that mean? What does that mean?
For that too.
What does that mean? Because please don't assume. What does that mean?
Yeah, and that's why let's break it down so that the layman can understand.
So just to break it all the way down, what happened was the Department of Justice conducted what they call a patterns and practices investigation, where they look at your police department and the things that have happened within the police department, and they come to a determination whether it was a one-off event that happened or whether it's a pattern and practice within the police department. They came back with a report that said we have patterns and practices, and what typically happens, what they typically like to happen is for the community to sign what they call an agreement to agree. So an agreement to agree says you're going to enter a consent decree later. And when you enter into a consent decree, you're basically outlining all the things you're going to do to correct the department. And they take that to court and they ask the federal judge, this is the agreement we have. We want you to oversee this agreement, judge, and the judge oversees it. We decided that We don't want to be under federal judge oversight.
Gotcha.
We feel like we can develop our own plan of action and we can hold ourselves accountable amongst agreements within parties that are either locally or even an agreement with the DOJ, who could always take it to court later if they decide to. And that's pretty much where we kind of left it. And we are in the process of putting together our task force. So that's going to be a group that's going to develop the plan of actions. What are all the things that we want to correct? We have former federal judge Bernice Donald, who's in place to oversee our efforts. And if you look at what has happened at the federal government this week, where the Department of Justice has now been ordered to halt all civil rights investigations, meaning that was part of the pattern of practice. The DOJ has said they're halting all of it. So if we would have signed it, we would have no responsibility to continue doing anything because of DOJ. We decided that we're going to chart our own path because we want continuous improvement. And so we're still moving down the path that we were going down anyway, and we're still keeping DOJ engaged. They're still there to help give insight and provide information, subject matter expertise, all of those things. They're a part of the process.
Partner.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be a partner.
And something's still being done. And something's
So
still
people
being done.
misheard when they heard he's not signing the consent decree. Like, I'm pushed back and not trying to make necessary changes. But if you listen to what we were saying, we were actually offering a proposed approach that we believe can be a model for the nation moving forward without having to have the DOJ have the federal judge oversight in the process.
And I think that's a level of accountability too.
It
You're saying
is.
we can be accountable, but we can have our own plan and get things done. So.
And then remember that it's still an agreement. So the DOJ can always take it to court if we decide not to do the things that we agree to in the agreement. So the court oversight doesn't go, the possibility of court oversight doesn't go away.
So basically, you just didn't sign the consent agreement, but it didn't mean that you weren't working on the improvements.
100%. I mean, I've said it countless ways, but I think people mishear it and
they hear what they want to hear.
But like I tell people, like for me, it's really just about showing improvement. When I was on the campaign trail, everybody said you can't win, don't nobody know your name, so I'm gonna show you. And so with this, they say, well, you say you're gonna hold yourself accountable. We don't trust you. We done seen this before. Well, I'm gonna show improvement. I mean,
naysayers motivation.
Yeah, it's motivation. So we're gonna keep doing what we got to do, and I think over time we will come to a place where people see that things are happening, things are changing, they are moving in a better direction. We are adjusting policies, and we can get in the weeds in terms of policies that have already been changed, that already moved towards their goal, because that's not a part of what was reported in the DOJ report.
And you know what? This made me think about what you've been saying, Parkinson, with the other issue, not to be whatever. How we can just bring everything in house. We can get our people together. It's the same thing. I'm sorry. I barely give you credit. I give you to take this a little bit. Take a little bit.
Let me say this
on our issues.
But
I got you.
But Coach, hold this for 1 second. Let me just piggyback here.
Okay, go ahead.
Off of you said something that about you say things right, and we as leaders, thank God, humbly we thank God for putting us in a position to be leaders. But we say things, and we say exactly what it is that we're saying, and then people come and tell us that we're saying something else. Just like I said the other day, man, I'm glad this mess is over with, right? And I'm glad that school board stuff was over with, right? It didn't mean that I was glad she got fired. It meant that I'm glad it's over with. But people tried to take me saying, man, I'm exhausted mentally about this shit, right? And I'm glad it's over with, and tried to take it and say, oh, he wanted her to be fired. But people take what you say and add their own coloration to it.
Yeah, and for me, it's really a lesson in communications, though, because I can be better with how I use my words, and so I try to figure out what can I do better so that you can hear the right thing. How can I say something that I think will capture the news attention, so this becomes the headline instead of something that is not really what I meant. And some things we can't control, but I try and take everything as a lesson.
Can I say something, Kojak? You can go. Sorry, I said
Dang,
this.
Kojak,
I
she
said it
just
last
running over
week.
you, Kojak.
Deboing your
Because no,
spot.
but he's
Deboing
like
your spot.
confirming.
She deboed the hell out of
I'm
Kojak
not,
Wilson.
because I want him to know we come back. But he's confirming the things we talked about. I said that with the school, but I said good leadership. Good leadership looks okay. If something keeps being miscommunicated, I'm not going to say. Well, I say, okay, no, it's something that's how I'm doing. So what am I need to do to communicate better to this person? Everybody's style is different, but by you saying that was confirmation of what I said. Shut up, Parkinson. And I just want to put that confirmation out there.
Kojak ain't gonna remember
Okay,
what
What you
Kojak.
got, Kojak?
Go, Kojak. He lying. He had nothing to say. He was banking on that.
No, what I want to say, I mean, even with the school board issue, and to your fact, a lot of times the people just don't trust.
Right.
I mean, especially Memphis.
100%.
It's the trust, you know, of, like I understand what you're saying. We can do it ourselves. But if you got a click already and you feel like, okay, they're in the click together, so who knows what they're doing? And I think that's the same thing happened with the school board.
Yeah.
You know, they like
Oh, yeah.
behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I know Dr. Richmond. I graduated from Trez. I've been knowing him forever.
Yeah.
And I know he stand up. I know all that. Do I like how they did Fagan? Man, I feel like, you know, I feel like that's just my feeling. Right. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when you don't know what's going on behind the scenes,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I
that's when all the
100% respect that.
conspiracy theories
And that's what people
start
have told me. I mean, people that, you know, on the other side feel like I should have signed. And we've had like real in-depth conversations.
Right.
Folks like Earl Fisher.
Yeah.
I won't even start saying the other name. Earl, I
Right.
know he don't mind me saying his
Right.
name.
Yeah.
And he talked to me raw.
Right.
He tell me exactly what he thinks. And I tell him exactly what I
Hey,
think.
Earl.
But I appreciate his perspective
Yeah.
because he lets me hear why people
Yeah.
are suspicious of what I'm
Right.
saying.
Right.
And
Right.
you know, I need to hear that. And
Oh, man.
but it still comes down to them being distrusting of government because of what they've seen in the past, and me feeling like, well, I got to show you something different.
Yeah.
And the only thing it's going to take time for me to show it to you.
Right.
I mean, it's only so much we can settle in a conversation one-on-one, and people want it to happen instantly. But I think back like when Drake and Kendrick Lamar was beefing, and I'm going somewhere with this.
Go with it.
Okay.
When they was beefing,
That's passion link. I'm going somewhere with
yeah, I'm going somewhere.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what? How you go from DOJ to Drake and Kendrick Lamar?
Right.
But when they were beefing, Drake was doing victory laps because Kendrick hadn't responded
Mm-hmm.
during that little period. Like when he dropped one song and he dropped another one, he's like, where you at? Where you at? But Kendrick was cooking. And then when he dropped it all.
Right,
And then
right.
he won because he was so prepared.
Yeah.
What I want to do is make sure we're prepared. So
Yeah.
we're not rushing to put stuff out
Knee-jerk,
immediately.
emotional
Yeah, like
reaction.
these things,
Right.
they studied it over 18 months. We
Right.
got it in December, right before the holidays, and we're still preparing how the path forward, how we're gonna roll everything out. And
Yeah.
so we're not rushing it because we want to make sure that it's right when we put it out. But it's gonna get to the same end goal that I think
Or better.
all of us or better,
Or better.
than all of us have.
And
You know-
rush can lead to mistrust because then you have to backtrack and people think you're lying. It's like,
Right.
no, I just put it out there too early. It leads to
Right.
mistrust.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you got to fix it. So.
Yeah, and you know, a couple things. One is, and I believe in this wholeheartedly. You know, we are responsible for us.
Yeah.
Man,
No
ultimately, Memphians, we are all Memphians. I don't care what side of the
Nobody's
aisle
gonna
you
love
are.
us like us.
Nobody is gonna love us like us. And you know, and honestly, I like the debate. You know, I like, sharpen me, because it sharpens me when, we don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree, but what we cannot do is bully each other and get personal when we disagree. We can agree to disagree and let's debate it out, right? And show me, I'm one of them folks, you gotta show me I'm wrong, man. And so, but at the end of the day, this is not about legislators up there in state capitol. This is about us and about us taking care of us and self-determination. And I believe that wholeheartedly. And I thank you for taking that position in that role, when it comes to, this DOJ thing, because, you're still getting to that end, right? Or even better.
And I do have a question talking about the police. I know recently, shout out Chief,
Shout out to
Davis.
CJ.
CJ?
She got that title back, so I had to drop it in there. She did get her title back, and I believe he may have something to do with it. You know, we got some claps
title
over
mats
there.
and got her title back.
Yeah, she got it back. Shout out, she deserved it. So she did, and you had he handed out. I'm assuming. I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, I've been pushing. I mean, I've been pretty clear. Like, this is who I stand behind. I've never wavered on that. And people that don't like it, I hear you. I understand but I see something different. And you know, as mayor, you have to make decisions where there's always somebody. I said it earlier. Always somebody that disagrees, but there's always somebody that agrees. So I hear all of the feedback, and I have insight into the inner workings of the department. I'm in the meetings behind the scenes. I know who's pushing for the changes and things of that nature. So I've been pushing for it to happen for a couple of months, and it was supposed to happen in December. It didn't happen then, and it was supposed to happen at the first meeting. Didn't happen then. Just so happened that it happened at the last meeting. It was not I know everybody think it was like this strategic ploy to do it while the school board meeting was happening.
Of course it was. Right.
It really was not.
My PRI was like, yeah, that was good because nobody really wasn't paying attention.
But look, while y'all were looking
It
over
just
here,
so happened
Paul
that-
Young did this over there.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was like, damn, that was smart. Yeah, that's what I thought.
But look, but you know, here's something I want to point out, and I know you get this, but you know, everything, just about everything you've done and things that you've said, you basically told the city council included, I can show you better than I can tell.
That's exactly what you remember,
right.
because
No, that's
when
right.
it happened
Right.
in January,
Right.
like when they didn't approve her,
Right.
I said, all right, give us some time.
Right.
Let us
We'll
cook.
be back.
We're gonna show you better than we can tell you.
Yep.
And
Yep.
we saw the numbers trend in a better direction. Doesn't mean we did. We still had way too much happen, but it trended in a better direction. And you know, some of the things that they were concerned about, it was inarguable that they were in a better place. Even the tone within the department and some of the things that they were hearing in terms of rumors, it was better than when it was when we came in last year. And so, you know, I think that convinced them to say, all right, let's put this behind us, because we got a lot of work to do with changes for DOJ, and you don't want to do changes to the police department in significant form with an interim police chief. You want to do it with your police chief, and that's what we're going to do.
You have to create some stability.
Yeah, you got to have stability. You can't have people thinking, well, she'll be out any minute.
Yeah.
You gotta know that this is the person.
Yeah. So there are Rico, what was that stat? Somebody said that there were 20 murders in 23 days.
Crazy.
And you know, but crime is down, right?
It's
where
down,
we
but
at?
this month has been
It's
crazy.
been rough?
I don't know
Okay.
what has been going on this month, man. I was, you know, I was talking to CJ and the team just Tuesday, because I'm like, tell me what's happening. We outlined every one of them. There was only one that seemed to be random. The rest of them seemed to be either conflicts between people that got beef, but a significant amount of them were like brothers shooting each other in the house,
Really?
a father son.
So domestic violence.
Domestic, man, it's so much domestic, boyfriend, girlfriend, triangles, and all of this. Like those are the things that are really contributing to the homicide rate. And a lot of it, you know, it doesn't matter who the police are. It doesn't matter who the chief is.
Yeah.
We in the house arguing, and I pull out a gun and I kill you.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately what we have been seeing this month. And so we're watching it at a very, very granular level, though, because we want to make sure where we see indications of there being a broader issue, like there's conflict and retaliation amongst folks, that we're able to dig in and see who are the groups that have this beef, so we can go in and make sure that we are getting our street ambassadors out there engaging, breaking that up so we can stop the killing.
You know, I might pass a law that says if somebody is convicted of assault, what's the term for
Aggravated
assault? If they're convicted of aggravated assault, we're gonna take their phones away from them.
Oh Lord, a lot of people
Well,
be
think about
straight.
that, right? A lot of this beef is on social media.
Oh, it's definitely on social
a lot
media.
of it is on social media. Take the phones away from them. Let them go radio silent.
Well,
right?
that's also a place where we want to do more from a policing perspective. I only want to give numbers because y'all would be astonished at how low the solve rate is on aggravated assaults. On homicides, it's hovering around 50%, which is the national average, but that's still terrible. That means if all 4 of us get killed, only 2 of our murders would be solved. And it's much lower than that on aggravated assaults. Meaning, if I shoot at you and miss,
right,
then I'm most likely gonna stay out.
Yeah.
That means I'm just riding around until I see you again, and then I got a 50% chance of getting caught. So those are the things that we got to lean into to figure out how we're going to get the folks off the street, because there's not that many people that are real shooters. And we got to get the real shooters off the street.
And I go back to mental health with them, the issues, the problem solving, emotional intelligence. It's just we don't have it. at all.
And you know, and conflict resolution.
Yeah,
is big.
that's
You can see
conflict
that with
resolution.
everything that was going on this week. You can see that conflict resolution is not our ministry.
I said before, it should start in elementary school. It should be a course. I've said this before. I had this conversation with my wife. It should be a course every year, elementary to middle school to high school. Of course, so that they can go home and take that same information and work it out with their parents, too, so they can learn from the teachers.
Yeah, but the kids learn from the parents. But let me ask you this: last thing, because you know, I think we're over the segment again. But last thing, Elon Musk is in the building. Elon Musk is crazy as a roll, is crazy as hell. And but look, Paul's like, but he has set up XAI in right here in South Memphis. Give us your thoughts, man. And it seems like they're asking for more.
Yeah, well, so the reality is they hadn't really asked us for anything.
Okay.
I mean, they're buying land and they're building things.
Yeah.
There's no incentives.
Right. Yeah.
Usually when a big company comes, they want to know how much can you reduce their taxes. Not only have they come in, and this is not me trying to give them praise, this is just the facts. They came in, they got no tax breaks, which means on the billions of dollars that they have invested, our community will be able to invest those dollars into things like transit and schools and all the other things. But not only did they do that, they're also helping us on some of the things that we need. They're building a gray water facility, $70 million investment, which is going to take water from the wastewater treatment plant that we have. It's going to clean that water and use it to cool their computer, but it's also going to cool water, going to clean water that can also be used for TVA, because you know they're taking it from the aquifer to cool their facility. And so this is going to be a public asset that we're going to inherit. So you know, with all of the good and bad of all the narrative and noise around him as a person, the investment that they're making stands to benefit our community greatly. And my goal is to make sure that our people can take advantage of what the statement means to have the world's largest, strongest supercomputer right here in Memphis, Tennessee. What does that mean for innovation, and how can our kids take advantage and us open up a whole new realm of possibility with regards to jobs and things that'll be coming to our community.
But let me ask this though, because there was a question about, you know, the power demand. Before you go to that, I think we got some video. Run that video, Josh.
Elon Musk is asking for this to be done at an extraordinary rapid rate with very little commitment to citizen and community engagement.
Stephen Smith, executive director of the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, wrote a blistering blog post this week calling XAI's supercomputer expansion plan in Southwest Memphis a bait and switch, sneak move that puts billionaires' benefits above local Memphians.
He's, you know, a billionaire. He's used to getting his way. He's used to sort of ramming things through, and he has the resources to do it.
At last week's expansion announcement, Elon Musk's Memphis rep said XAI will use Megapack technology to expand the Colossus supercomputer to 10 times its current size, from 100,000 GPUs, graphics processing units, to 1 million GPUs by 2026. The Southern Alliance for Clean Energy writes that amounts to 1/3 the current peak demand of the city of Memphis and essentially requires a new power plant. MLGW tells Action News 5 the project represents significant additional growth and requires thorough study using a federally mandated process that examines the impact on capacity and reliability of generation, transmission, and distribution. We have not, says MLGW, received detailed plans about all the utilities necessary. TVA officials.
All right, man. So there's going to be a demand.
Power is the biggest challenge and issue, and one of the things that they're doing, and they are aware of it. And I haven't met Elon before. But
you ain't met Elon?
I haven't.
Elon.
But his guy that's here on the ground, Brent, is a real sharp dude, and we've had. In fact, the first conversation I had with them, it was about power and water.
Yeah.
Like these are the things I'm
Yeah.
concerned about. But this is what I know about these
Right.
things when they come in. And they are creative array of solutions. They have these mega packs that you heard about in the story, which are essentially huge batteries, the size of like a tractor trailer. And they have those battery packs such that anytime there is peak demand, so like when we were just earlier this week when it was really, really cold and the system is stressed, and you know, in other communities they had these brownouts. What we ask companies to do is enroll in a demand response program where if we have a peak demand and we need you to come offline, you can. We ask them to shed about 60% of their load.
Right.
They are willing to shed, and they have agreed to shed 100% of their load,
Wow.
meaning that they will come completely
Yeah.
offline and run completely off the batteries that they have. And so they have thought of some creative ways to make sure that they aren't a strain on the utilities. Now, getting up to 1 million GPUs or whatever the term was, it's going to be a challenge. And I know that they're working through it, but you know, it's
But you know, we may get a plan.
we don't
out
know
of
the
it.
answer yet.
We may get a plan out of it. You know, who knows?
We don't know the answer yet. They're still working on it, but I just ask the community to be patient as we work through finding solutions. And I want them to know that I know and they know that this is a very, very big issue.
Yeah. And so, you know, given the fact that XAI is parked right here in Memphis, Tennessee, I suspect that, you know, when you go on your XAI interface, and you ask them, what does Maine mean? Right?
Really?
It should be in the system.
Mine.
Yeah.
Mine could be a mine, right? Mine.
Right. You know, so all of the Memphis slang,
Memphis lingo.
right? All of the Memphis slang should be up and up ahead of Chat GPT on XAI, because XAI is right here in Memphis, Tennessee.
That's right.
That's right. Man, y'all give it up for the Memphis Mayor Paul.
Come on,
Young.
thank y'all, man. It's been fun. Appreciate y'all having me. Look forward to coming back.
Hey, man, anytime you're welcome, anytime, Mayor. And we truly appreciate you. Again, we're
Yes,
proud
sir.
of you, man. You keep up the good work.
Yeah, and come out next week. We're doing State of the City, October 30th at Temple of Deliverance, 5 o'clock. It's gonna be a good event. We're gonna talk about the year that we've been through and where we're going as a city. So come check us.
That sounds good. Angelica said, make sure you have us reserved seats for the Antonio Parkinson project. Yeah. And,
Get there early.
We need our name
we'll
on
be
there. Thank
We'll be
you.
there. Put
Get
us on
there early.
Yeah, but again, thank you again. We truly appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
You've been watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Hope to see you next week. Hit that subscribe button. We out.
Thank you, Mayor.